Right, people, new series of 5 things we have learned, which is going to be covering the Arsenal game. And yeah, we lost 1-0. It wasn't in favourable fashion because we were 10 times the much better team, but there's a lot of positive signs and we must go through them, win, draw or lose. We need to talk about it. But as a summary, you can see that United are shaping up to be somewhat decent. You had a pre-season, we saw a little thing or two. I think we can see that translating onto the pitch when it matters. But everything was great until the scoreline, until the last whistle. We lost 1-0. But people, smash the likes. Super, super important, smashing the likes. Subscribe if you're brand new. There's a good over 60% that does watch Cast Central and does not subscribe. So if you can do that and you like what you hear, then amazing. Join the club. But Man United were unlucky. I feel like we were robbed of a point at least. And there was very questionable decisions by the referees. But we're not here to talk about the referees. What's done is done. And I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the last time. And I'm pretty sure United will also get some favourable decisions that do not make sense. So we must get past that. Arsenal won ugly. If we won ugly, we wouldn't complain. So, but we have every right to be, what I think, annoyed. But let's get down into it. First one, in my opinion, this man here is going to be an absolute maverick for Manchester United. Cunha is nothing short of sensational. I feel like he's going to be a fan favourite for sure, for me. And on that notice, I can't wait. I cannot wait until he scores, till he gets more assists, you know, open his account. But you can see yesterday how important he really is. He was doing things that we haven't seen at Old Trafford since you could say maybe a Paul Pogba, driving from the midfield, carrying the ball. We've really missed that element. You know, we've seen Cunha even when he was dribbling past all 4 of those guys and then he shot and he hit White. Obviously, he got the shot off, but it didn't exactly hit the back of the net. But that's not unknown for Cunha to do. And that's where I'm looking at him thinking, oh, you know what? We really might really have a player on our hands here. And I feel like he's going to be a fan favourite. I can't wait to the next game because I just feel like he's a player that you have to watch, one to watch. And I can see him being the number 10 that United's probably needed in such a long time. You look at the last season and you look at Garnacho and what he would bring into that role. Cunha there is night and day. For me, you could arguably call him man of the match yesterday. There's a few other names as well that some may suggest and like. But with Cunha, the guy is just so elegant in the way he dribbles. And even just getting into certain situations in tight spaces, you think, oh, we might lose the ball here. No, not necessarily. He's the real deal. He is definitely the real deal. And it's a shame that we have to wait another week to see if we can get a W under this club and under him, if he can be the guy that's going to be the main man to arrive for us. But it's good signs. I really like it. And I feel like no Man United fans can truly argue either. And that brings me on to the second point, because it also involves Cunha, but it also involves this man right here, Imbumo. Imbumo and Cunha, the partnership. What have we learned? These two can 100% function with one another. I feel like with these two, it's endless thoughts of what could be and what will be. You know, we always talk about building certain chemistry and certain, players of having understanding of what to do on the pitch when one another's occupying certain spaces. Yesterday, their link-up was phenomenal. And you know what? Credit to Mason Mount as well. But with these two, touch and goes, 1-2s, laying it off for one another, they were really running the show for us. And you can see that these two are going to be immensely dangerous against other sides. Look, come up against the best team in the league. Yeah, they didn't score, they didn't assist, but the positions they got in, on other days, they're burying 2-3 goals between them, at least, or assisting at least one another. Cunha and Imbumo has transformed this United side, and no one can tell me any different. We saw more in fit Imbumo. We saw a Cunha we got told that he can't even press, and he's going to be Amram's main too. In those attacking mid spots, it's going to be very difficult to displace them. I can't see how they're not going to be successes at United, let alone justifying their whole price tag. I think that's going to be easy. You're going to probably say in a year's tour time thinking, you know what? They're worth every single penny. And that partnership there, and of course, with Sesko going up front, I just can't wait to see what's going to be formed. Them two are going to be absolute amazing, amazing players for this club. Until someone can tell me any different. Number 3, Mason Mount can be useful. I can't believe I'm actually saying this in 2025, but I feel like with him, he showed me something yesterday that I did not expect. I wouldn't say he was 10 out of 10 amazing, but in terms of the basics, we really could have done with someone that knows how to do basics. Switching the ball. You know who I thought was out there? Funny enough, I thought it was Bruno Fernandes. Mason Mount looked more like Bruno Fernandes than Bruno Fernandes. And that's saying something. That's a compliment. Bruno Fernandes, good player. I mean, yesterday there was a lot of question marks. There was a whole discussions on the live show. But Mason Mount shows that he has a place in the squad for now. For at least this season. If we can keep him fit, maybe move him on next season. We'll see. But he can clearly do what the manager asks of him. And that's going to be super key for this year. Because when there is going to be times when we're going to depend on someone, can he make the difference is the overall question. Can he keep up the form? You know, he's not exactly a goal threat. He's not exactly a guy that's going to get you many assists. And that's kind of an issue if you're in one of these spots. But keeping a team, keeping the basics going, setting up the striker at least, just little in tight spaces, making sure that the pass is accurate and at least going to put us into a dangerous position. I feel like he's got a role there. I think he'd be better off the right-hand side, though, rather than the left. I feel like when Mason Mount cuts in, not really going to have a guy that's going to shoot it and put it top bins. And I feel like he's more creative off the right, as he used to for Chelsea. So I'm very surprised. Not number 7 type, but useful. And I think, for me, again, there's nothing wrong with that. Because we're going to need a squad. There will be injuries, unfortunately. Hopefully there isn't. And I pray there isn't. But I'm excited to see what he can bring. Maybe off the bench. We still got Xerxes to come back. We see what he can bring as well into one of them 10 roles. Might see Ahmad there. But at least with Mason Mount, his engine, his pressing off the ball, don't have a fault with him whatsoever. No faults. So he's going to get some flowers. And he's got his flowers. Number 4, the Ligt. Licht's a monster. And anyone else that wants to tell me that he's not deserving of that central centre-back role, what did we see yesterday? He absolutely manhandled 92% of what Gyokeres had to offer. And not just him, other players as well. When I looked at the Ligt yesterday, in terms of being comfortable in possession when he got pressed, in terms of winning his duels, in terms of tackling, in terms of covering, even just being in the midfield space, he is saying to the manager, this is my spot. And I think Ruben Amarante likes him and prefers him than Maguire. Because Maguire, again, has a role to play this year. And again, when Maguire came on, didn't look out of place, even though he was used in a different kind of manner. We saw the Ligt shift to right centre-back. So it's compliments to pretty much both of them. But the Ligt is saying pretty much, this is my spot. And I want to see more of that. I think maybe one of the best games in the United shirt, certainly under Amorim anyways, because let's be real, we can't go off many great performances in the Premier League under Amorim. But on a new season and seeing what's fresh, yeah, the Ligt, I'm quite comfortable. But there's going to be different obstacles and different kind of players to come up against. Can't play against Gyokeres all the time. There will be more clever footballers. So like Ekatike these days or Isak. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles that and different kind of presses. You know, I didn't think he could do that centre-back role as comfortable as I thought, but he was the Ligt I was seeing back in the day. So long may that continue. And for me, I've been a big fan of his. And I don't like this shoehorning of Maguire, and I've never actually got it. So keeping up them performances, I hope so. And number 5, this man right here, Ruben Amarante. With Ruben, or Mr. Amarante, whatever you want to call him, for me, I feel like he shows that the coach can coach. Given better personnel, of course, like anyone, and someone to fit what he wants, not what you want at times, and what the club wants, more importantly. Given time, I feel like we've got a very much dangerous Manchester United. Of course, again, look, we can only go with pre-season, but the team looks much fitter. The team looks more agile. The team looks up for it. And it seems like there's a bit of a culture reset going on. But we do need more games. We need at least 5 games to judge his whole coaching tenure, you could say, in this new regime, new look Manchester United. And then we can give it proper... We can probably score point it based off out of 10, say if he's going to be a good fit or not. But I'm a big believer in Amorim, so and I want him to land. I really like the way he talks, and I think a lot of people do, but I feel like, again, nitpicking. certain personnel coming on, oh, we lost the game because of Amrim. I don't understand that. So I think it's just a forced agenda at this point. But with him, I feel like we can see it on the pitch, and even others. I've seen others, even Rants. Even he's saying, you know what, today was not just down to like individual brilliance. It was more to do with coaching. We saw coaching, but we do need goals. And I feel like we'll get that when Sesko lands a little bit more and he gets more fit, because we've got a different dynamic. And as soon as he came on the pitch, you saw that, you know, even against even a low block, against one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in Europe, caused a couple situations. And I can't wait for it. But anyways, people, make sure you smash the likes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is there anything that you feel like I could have pointed out different to all those 5 points? Let me know. Tried something different with the video. You'll get the nice, beautiful transition soon where it slides across and whatever. But until then, do that next time in a bit.